So let's start off with the main melody. I have to keep these automations on because otherwise it's gonna sound like shit. So these are on. So the main melody, it's a basic Nexus piano, like the one that I always used back in the day was like Arena Ambience. It's like literally the first preset from the piano, but I always thought it was like a dope preset to start off with, you know. It's really simple, but really what makes this like interesting is the slight reverse on the end. I did it with growth beat, like you can use other stuff to do it, but you're gonna notice like a lot in this project, like there's a lot of compressors on it, and I think I use like a reverb on all of them, like yeah, kinda like that. The thing is, like, that's just what I did back in the day. It's like a project that I made like 4 years ago, you know. Now I don't really compress my sounds anymore because like most of the sample packs are already like pretty compressed, you know. So yeah, after that, like I added like a second piano. It's like more to give it some layers, you know, like some stuff to take out of it and bring it back in. Like right now in 2020 I added RC20 just to make it sound like more old and like vibey, like I like the magnetic and the wobble, not always, but like the magnetic. Yeah, this effect, just the effect is really nice. Like, what did I? Just a little bit gross beat. You're gonna see me do this all the time. Like I just put like a halftime gross beat on most of my melodies just because like it adds an extra layer, you know. I add next like I think you got some more piano, but like the very low octaves. Just checking if so that's how you get that. What do we got here? This is the main melody. Personally, it's very simple, but I really with this. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a beat that I always remembered being hard as and like I have some like loyal subscribers who love this one as well, and I think it's mainly because of this like piano lead. It just comes in like quite hard. I don't know why. I made like the automation clips kind of weird, but because it's not playing, it doesn't really matter what it's doing. So, but this one is definitely like bringing in the melody right now. I also think that's one of the main things that makes this beat hard. Is like the piano slightly coming in, and then like when the 808s and everything come together, it just like explodes, you know. And then like on this part, it's just like the same melody but like one octave higher. That always makes a nice effect as well, you know. On the main lead, there's not much like to add, you know. There's a little bit of delay. Yeah, it's just basic stuff, you know. We got the loud filter right here. You see what's happening right here. The cutoff is actually increasing, and that's what makes the effect of like it opening up, you know. It's like you can hear it happening here, and this is the automation that. If you want to make an automation clip from like like most of the plugins, especially the stock plugins of FL Studio, you can just like right click them, and then you have this here, and that says like create automation clip. That's how you make them. It's very easy, you know. It's a very simple like process. Like you have to consider like the all the way down is 0 and all the way up is 100. So like if you have a knob, it's the same thing. Like all the way down is like the knob is all the way to the left, and all the way up is all the way to the right. You know, like it's pretty simple. So what do we have next? Like I'm just gonna follow the order of the playlist. I think that's the easiest thing. But I'm gonna add the kick and the snare at the same time just because. I always put my kicks at 808s, like the stereo separation. I make it like all the way to mono. Just like some advice that I used to get, especially for your 808s. You don't want to be your 8s in like stereo stuff because like it always clashes a little bit. Sometimes people can really ace the effect, but it's not really for me, I would say. Not always, like it takes a lot of time, you know. But first, like what do we have on the kick? We have a simple parametric EQ. Personally, I wouldn't do this at this day and age, but I like slightly adjusted it. I also replaced the kick, and I kept the compressor on there. Like the thing is with like these mixes that I did like a couple years ago, like I actually think they sound good, so I'm not like really trying to make the whole thing again, you know. If it sounds like how it should, I'm just like gonna keep it that way, you know. So there used to be a soft clipper on there. I don't really do that anymore, especially not on my kicks. I only put it on the master, so everything stays under the 0 decibels. But for the rest, you know, it's quite easy. So we have the snare as well, also just like a compressor and reverb. Things that I wouldn't do like in 2020, but I still thought it was interesting that I actually did it back in the day. So what do we have next? We have a chant, super basic. I'm not really gonna explain how I do a chant, you know. But then up next we have the 808s. As I prefer them, like back in the day, very distorted. Yeah, you're gonna hear. So. So yeah, as you can see, like the mixing is a mess. It's a complete mess, but it does the job for some reason. But literally sometimes just to get the mix right, especially with these distorted 808s, it kind of makes it hard to put it all together and make it sound like it's legit, you know. So I'm just gonna delete these to make it like a little bit more tidy. Um, yeah, I don't know why. Really, like this is all just really. This kind of works though. I got the compressor on there. I don't know. Really, so it's not that bad in my opinion. And also have like a fat filter on it. So that helps, you know, like it was really like if you put like all this distortion and everything, like it's gonna sound really digital, and you're gonna have some high frequencies coming through. Personally, I don't really like that as well. So in my newer beats, you won't hear this type of distortion. But if I have it, like I try to keep it down, you know, because you have to, you know. So let's check out the piano roll. Something interesting to explain is maybe this glide note. I think most of y'all will probably know that you can make like glide notes just by clicking this icon right here. If it's longer, it's gonna take longer for the glide to happen. If you make this like this short, it's gonna be, yeah, you know. So that's how it works. Pretty easy stuff. I added these in like the last version. The 2016 version didn't have any glides, but I really think like in this one it made it like more enjoyable, you know. So next up we have the hi-hats. I'm just gonna show you the pattern. I also did some weird stuff to get certain effects, but I'm thinking it's gonna be, yeah, here. So this is like kind of the main hi-hat pattern. Kinda, I think you'll be able to hear that like these hi-hat rolls have like a strange pitch because I changed the fine pitch over here instead of just like making the pitch changes in the piano roll, you know. But like I made a couple of these hi-hat patterns just to switch it up, you know. Like I didn't like the previous beat being always the same. Like I wanted to have more parts where there's more let's say action and like a different rhythm. Then like we're coming to the last things, and it's like really not much interesting. But like this is all gonna be open hats and crashes. That's also just really, I'm just gonna do these as for last, but okay, this has to be there. So basically we have a open hat, a crash, very very well known crash. Like it's I think the like OG Lex Luger type of crash. Um, the open head goes like this. Like it's very simple stuff. But with this one, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. It's a very simple open head pattern. Let's just hear it. That's basically it. I'm just gonna show you the mastering channel, how I did that. Yeah, that's basically it. So now we have the whole beat. Yeah, you can see already the automation from the Alot filter is just like to give like this little effect in the beginning. I like doing it because like it gives I don't know, a very legit vibe to the beat, you know, like it gives the arrow that it's gonna be something big, you know. If it's like only the melody, it's like kind of, I don't know, nobody is gonna have like special expectations, you know. So delete this. So I always like, especially right now, like the last few months, I started taking my time to understand like how Saturn actually works and how I can like use this to make my mix sound better, you know. What I actually found is like I started off with the Hip Hop Puncher preset. I kept adjusting it to my own preference. I noticed that like a lot of gain knobs were turned up too much. There was like also in some of these bands like you would have some of these that were just like pushed to the max, and really if you just like would turn your mix really loud, you could hear that it was like kind of hard for your ears, you know. So right now it's like a very simple preset. It doesn't really add more noise, but it makes it like softer where usually the harshness is, you know. Especially for this mix that was really harsh, it kind of helped out, you know. But the interesting thing is like I rediscovered Maximus through this project. It's like something that I used to use like a lot, just to mostly like when everything comes into the master, sometimes like it can sound really flat, you know, because of everything that's going on. I used to use Maximus to like kind of fix that. I don't really know if this is like how it should be used, but I just started using it one day and I got the result that I needed, so it worked for me, you know. Basically you can separate your lows, mediums and highs, then you can adjust the volumes of each individual levels, and then basically I would turn off the master, and then it's like with the soft clipper combined it wouldn't clip, but mids and highs would sound a lot better, a lot more crisp, a lot more defined, I would say. And like you're definitely gonna hear the difference with like really like this is something that I wouldn't do like today. Like this is like literally you can see that the mids and the highs are pushed way too hard. Usually you should get that fixed before you're gonna try and fix that in a master, you know, like so one thing that I should have done 4 years ago is actually make my hi-hats like louder, bring more mids and highs into, no, not really mids, but like the everything but the bass should be more like properly mixed, and it's really because of the heavy 808 that it was kind of muddy without it, but like with it it's completely fixed. So that's one thing that I really liked using back in the day, but I don't really use it anymore because you have to make track outs to sell your beats, and if your beats sounds like shit without the master, it's kind of pointless of having like this clean mixed beat while the track outs are really trash, you know. So that's really the reason why I started quitting these like bad habits, you know. I'm just gonna, that's basically it. Then the last thing I wanted to mention is the snare roll. What I learned from snare rolls, really, at the end of the day, it's all about the little velocity changes that really makes it, or yeah, like if you would have these all at the same level, it wouldn't sound the same. It wouldn't have the same energy. That's just what I. If there's anything I can add, I would say like if you wanna, like how this beat is basically made. It's like I still have my pattern one, and this is like this is literally how I make the beat. What I would even do is like I would add different 808 patterns as well, and hi-hat patterns, all in this channel. So after that I would just like split by channel and then just create the whole beat from scratch. Because as you can see, like I have, so yeah, like usually I have like 5 different 808 patterns. Sometimes I make these in the beginning when I'm just like working on one pattern. This time I just did it after, as well as with the hi-hats, but like that's always something I try to do, is just like make different rhythms, and sometimes you come up with new stuff that like sounds better than the stuff you previously did. So yeah, I hope you guys thought this was interesting. Yeah, I'm just like trying to work out this whole YouTube thing, but like if y'all really enjoy this and like can learn something from it, like I'm motivated to keep doing this. So see you guys next week.